Welcome, my dear students. Today, let us learn about the bone sternum. Let us discuss the bone under the following headings. First is introduction. Second, parts of the bone. Third, description of the parts with their attachment. Fourth, ossification. And number fifth is the applied in relation to sternum. See, this is sternum. Sternum is an elongated flat bone which occupies the middle portion of the anterior chest wall. Now let us know what are the parts of this bone. Craniocaudal bone. This bone consists of manubrium. This is the cranial most part. Middle part is the body, and the caudal one or lower part is the xiphoid process. So from above downwards, sternum consists of manubrium, body, and the xiphoid process. The above of this bone is identified by the manubrium sternum, which is usually quadrangular in shape, and the lower portion is pointed one, which is called xiphoid process. Anterior surface of the manubrium sternum is concavo-convex. This one is the manubrium sternum. Side to side it is concave, from above downwards it is convex. Anterior surface of the body is identified by presence of ridges, which are nothing but the lines of fusion of the segments of the body of the sternum. There are 4 segments which are called sternibri. Posterior surface is smooth and concave. While holding it in anatomical position, the lower end is to be kept slightly anteriorly. It lies slightly anterior in position than the upper end. Now, let us describe the parts. First is manubrium sternum. So, this upper end, which is quadrangular in shape, is the manubrium sternum. You see, manubrium sternum has got an upper border, lower border, 2 lateral borders, and it is provided with 2 surfaces. This one is the anterior surface and this one is the posterior surface. Superior border of the manubrium sternum presents in the middle a notch which is called suprasternal notch or jugular notch. On either side of the jugular notch there are 2 notches, oval notches. You see, they are the clavicular notch. These clavicular notch receive the sternal end of the clavicle. So sternal end of the clavicle articulates with the sternum at this notch, at this clavicular notch, with intervention of an articular disc, thereby forming a joint. The name of the joint is sternoclavicular joint. It is a synovial joint. The lower margin or lower border of the manubrium sternum, it fuses or articulates with the upper end of the body. Thereby formation of a joint occurs here. The name of the joint is manubriosternal joint. This is symphyseal joint, midline joint. This one is. You see that the manubrium and the body, they lie in two different planes. That's why a forward projection occurs at this joint, at this manubriosternal joint. This projection is called sternal angle of Lewis, which forms an important landmark. You see here, actually second rib articulates with the facet or notch present at the lateral border. So second rib can be counted from here. Besides this, there are some other important landmarks at this sternal angle of Lewis. Now, you see the anterior surface. Anterior surface, it is concavo-convex. At the two sides it is concave, and from above downwards it is convex. Posterior surface is smooth, it is concave one. In the lateral borders, there are two facets. In the upper part, the facet is a full facet. In the lower part, the facet present is a half facet or demi facet. Upper full facet articulates with the costal cartilage of the first ridge. Thereby, formation of sternocostal joint. First sternocostal joint occurs here. First sternocostal joint is a cartilaginous joint. You see the half facet or demi facet present in the lateral border in its lower part, with the half facet present in the upper part of the body. This full facet, half contributed by the lower part of the body of the sternum and half contributed by the upper part of the body of the sternum. In this notch or facet, second costal cartilage gets articulated, forming sternocostal joint. So this second sternocostal joint is a synovial joint. Now the attachment in relation to the manubrium sternum. This jugular notch or suprasternal notch, anterior and posterior margin of the suprasternal notch provides attachment for the investing layer of the deep cervical fossa. So investing layer of the deep cervical fossa, it is provided with two lamina. Thereby formation of a space occurs here. The name of the space is suprasternal space of Burns. In addition to the investing layer of the suprasternal deep cervical fascia, it also provides attachment to the stem of the interclavicular ligament. Now, the anterior surface of the body of the sternum provides origin for the sternocostal head of the pectoralis major. So pectoralis major, sternocostal head gets originated from here. It also extends downwards along the bodies. So this is the sternocostal origin of the pectoralis major. In the manubrium sternum, from the anterior surface extending to the body. You see in the upper part towards the clavicular notch, the muscles taking origin at the sternal head of the sternocleidomastoid. So from the anterior surface, sternocleidomastoid, which takes tendinous origin extending towards the clavicular notch and the sternocostal head of the pectoralis major. You see, this one is the posterior surface. Posterior surface in the upper part provides origin of a few fibers of sternohyoid muscle. You see, it also provides origin in this fashion of sternothyroid muscle. So upper part provides origin for a few fibers of sternohyoid, and the lower part descending downwards provides origin for sternothyroid muscle.